Yeah, from Key West. Yeah, from Key West. Yeah, from Key West. Louis, Sunshine, Summer City. Yeah, from Key West. Yeah, from Key West. Yeah, from Key West. Louis, Sunshine, Summer City, USA. I'm on my grind, focused on the max, there's no relaxing. We got money coming in and all these shows we out here packing. Mike Stack, I brought us back. I never went with capping, ain't no rabbit in this hat. But you know we making magic, let's go. So call him Neil to get the camera ready. He a sharpshooter, he know how to keep the camera steady. Told him bring them drones out. I'm really in my zone now, there's no doubt. Do this for my hometown with my own sound. Yeah, it's kinda crazy when them hobbies get to turning pages. We not the same, you in the minors and I'm in the majors. I'm getting hit, you in the bleachers.
Thanks for tuning in to the Conch, a Bring Joy podcast. I'm your host, Joy Newlish. I'm a first-generation Conch raised by a fourth. What does that add up to? A whole lot of Conch pride. And that's what this show is all about, celebrating the incredible people of Key West and their stories from every corner of our Conch community. So sit back and relax, cuz. Let's do this thing. This episode is sponsored by Ramona's, promoting Conch pride since 1971. How we doing, Conch fans? I got a good one for you today. We're talking with Mike Stack, Key West #1 entertainer, a true Conch, and all-around good guy. Welcome to the show, Michael.
Joy, I appreciate you. Full name, Michael. I like it. I need that intro every single time I go on stage. How we doing, Joy? Talk to me.
Hey, first thing I want to do is ask you if you like this hat.
That's my favorite hat. You rock it so much nicer than I do. But I mean, the Just Smile hat, like we talked about. See, let's just intro this real quick. People don't realize we just got done doing 10 minutes of interview and my internet connection was not great. So we just went through a couple questions and people don't realize that. So I'm just going to let everybody know my internet connection at my house is not great. So if you're coming over to use the Wi-Fi, it's not going to work. But Joy, that is a fantastic hat. I love that hat, the Just Smile Mike Stack hat. And you wear it so well, Joy. That is the Mike Stack collab Bring Joy official hat. We got to drop it like that. It is what it is. We need the Bring Joy on the other side and we got to do it right.
We got room. We got room.
I'm telling you, Joy, let's do it.
Hey, thanks for giving everybody, the fans, the behind the scenes. And let's go right behind the scenes. Talk to me about, I introduced you as Key West entertainer, #1 entertainer, because you're all over the place in the Key West music scene, from performer to promoter. The last 4 or 5 years just really blown up with your career. So tell me what's going on currently with Mike Stack, and let's go back a few years to how this all started.
So coming up, we have a big show over at the Blue Flamingo Resort, the Backyard Social Club. It's right there where the 24 North and the Gates Hotels used to be. Now it's one property. But we got the New Year's Eve celebration with Mike Stack and friends, presented by Florida Keys Electric. Shout out to them, and shout out to all our sponsors that are backing us for this concert. But we're pretty much bringing all my friends to the Backyard Social Club. We're throwing a big concert with the big stage, the big lights, the big sound. We got fireworks at the end. I love fire. I haven't been able to get actual fire shooters at a show. And I love me some pyrotechnics. So having fireworks is amazing. And, at the end of the day, it's a free show, family-friendly show. Bring everybody. But we're also raising money for the Autism Society of the Florida Keys. So, just by coming and dropping a couple dollars in, we're doing well for the community. So, it's going to be a great time. So that's 12:30. December 30th, the New Year's Eve celebration with Mike Stack and friends at the Blue Flamingo Resort and Backyard Social Club from 6 to 9. The party starts at 6. Fireworks go off at 9.
And it's a holiday season. I think you got a few more things on your calendar, don't you?
We do. So we got the Ugly Sweater Party December 23rd at Pickles Pub. You can win $500 if you have the ugliest, craziest, most entertaining sweater. Not bad, right? And then that's it. And we're going to close out the year at General Horseplay with our New Year's Eve countdown to 2026 party. We're going to be counting down. We're going to be having a good time. And then we're into 26 doing bigger, better, figure out how we can, just one up 2025.
You mentioned your friends. One of the things I love about you is you share the stage with other artists, from professional artists to even the young kids in the community that just need that moment on stage, that first moment to break the ice. Where did all that come from?
I feel like I'm very fortunate to have this opportunity and to be put in these situations where I can do my own concerts. What people might not know is all of these concerts I'm producing, I'm bringing in the sound, I'm bringing in the lights, I'm contacting the artists, I'm contacting the venues, I'm contacting sponsors because these things aren't cheap. We're putting on full shows with the big lights and the big sound. And shout out to all the sponsors, who have sponsored any show from day one until now, because without them, we cannot do it. But I just feel like it's something that I should do. If I was growing up in this community and there's somebody like me with a platform like I had, and I had this talent, I never think I'm the most talented person. I think I work hard, and I think I am a very good musician, a good artist, a good entertainer. But I know there's a lot of other talent out there that needs to be seen. So if I can do my part and get, some of these local artists on stage, some of these local kids, these teenagers, these young adults that just need a platform because they are so talented. Shout out to my dog Matt that's been on the saxophone, the last couple shows. He's so talented, and I think I got this opportunity, and I need to do right by it, and I need to do well by it, and I need to showcase some of our other Key West local artists.
The other thing you do, you already mentioned this next concert. There's always a benefit to someone. You're always passing the hat, whether it's Garrett Hughes, Dexter Butler, the food banks. Where'd that generous spirit come from?
I think all these concerts are free. Again, shout out to the sponsors for making that happen. I understand that not everybody can afford concert tickets, and some people need to experience a concert. What's nice about a concert is it gets you out of the element, whatever element you may be in. If it's a bad element, a good element, whatever it is for that night, all you're worried about is this concert. So what we try to do is these free community shows to just bring the community together. And if we're bringing the community together, what can we do to help the community? Unfortunately, a couple of shows, something's happened before that was just so terrible. And during those times, we as a community need to come together, and we need to support our own, and we need to have the back of our neighbors and our friends. So I think it started honestly with Garrett, with that first benefit concert. The first two concerts we did, we didn't raise any money. We just did these free community shows, and they weren't for anything. And then after Garrett's benefit, I seen like there's greater good to be done with these free shows because they're free. So why not drop a 5 in the bucket? Why not drop a 10 in the bucket? Anything helps. So I think Garrett is a big part of why we do this now is because we started with him, and he's still showing people that he's around, and I like to think every show he's there with me. I know he is. But I say it started with Gare's benefit concert, and it's just grown from there. And we just try to do what we can, whether it's for something good or something bad or something good, right? We're raising money for maybe a local sports team or something like that. So just about helping each other. I think everybody needs a helping hand sometimes, and that's all we try to do.
I talk about bringing joy to the world, and you certainly do that in so many ways. Let's go back a little bit because you're at this level of success now, a lot of hard work. But talk about the last 3, 4, 5 years. How did it accelerate to the point at which you're at now?
Yeah. So, when I was growing up, I was in choir, I was in the plays, I was doing all this. I liked being the center of attention. And then when I went to college, I didn't have this big group of friends. I went with like 15, 20 friends that were there, but I was in front of a whole bunch of people before that. So I started making music and putting it on YouTube, and it was just for my friends, just having a good time. And that, moved back home, got a job, a regular 9 to 5, kept making music. I was working at the college 2017 to about 2022. And I just kept making music. I kept trying to see what I could do. I always knew if maybe I could make like a hometown anthem or a song about Key West, it could be a really good, jump to help. If we can get everybody in the city behind us, I know we could do well. So we kept doing that. Shout out to Keys Island Runner, Choo Choo. We made a theme song for them that did really well. It was only on SoundCloud, but we started getting this following. And then I made a couple more songs that people enjoyed. And I made this song called Boat Days that people enjoyed. And then right
Love
after,
that.
yeah, me too, right? It's a boat day, man. It's always a boat day down here. So then right after boat days, we dropped down from Key West. Shout out to D. Lou. And I'm from Key West has done so much for us. It really was the anthem that I always dreamed about making. It was the one that I knew if I got this, we could do so much more. I could do so much more. I could make this my job. And I'm so fortunate that people attached to the song like we attached to the song when we made it. Because without that, we don't have anything. Without the people supporting us, without the people coming to the shows, without the people buying the merch, without the people listening to the music, we don't have, anything. So we made I'm from Key West, and you know, honestly, I'm from Key West was out and it was just getting streams from people. And it took a year. And then finally, shout out to Rick Lopez and everybody at 92.7, but it got on the radio. It got on a couple other radio stations, Party 104.9. And that brought it to a whole new level because in Key West has had so many levels. It's funny. We made it. It was just streaming. Then it got put on the radio and all these visitors are hearing it. And people are like, oh, I'm from North Dakota, but I came down to Key West and I listened to the song and I love it. And for 2 minutes and 30 seconds, when I put that song on and it's freezing outside, I'm back in Key West drinking my margarita or I'm on the beach and we get that messages. My DMs are filled with those messages. And that's so cool to see. Like I made this song about my island. I made this song for my people on the island. But people that aren't from here love the song just as much as the people that love it that are from here. And even the people that come down here and they plan on staying a year or two, and then they're down here for 10 years. I tell everybody when we do that song, whether you are visiting Key West, whether you've been here a year, whether you've been here 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, when this chorus comes on, we are all from Key West. At this moment right now, we are all from Key West. Joy, I went from 10 to 15 streams a month to, after the Keys Island Runner song, 100 to 200 streams a month. And, coming from where I was coming from, 10 to 15 streams to 200, that's a big jump, right? You got to be present and you got to understand where you come from, where you're trying to go, but you got to be present in the moment and enjoy that. That 200 streams was a big win for me.
Sure.
And then I'm from Key West, pops off, and now we're seeing 400 streams a week, 500 streams a week. And I'm like, what is going on? This is great. Let's go. So, it's been a lot of fun. I'm from Key West was definitely the jump off for me. And then, it led people to all of my other songs. I think I'm a great writer. I think I'm a great, I really can put people in a place, whether it's on a boat or on an island, or I can put people in a place with my lyrics, but everybody, it takes that one song for anything, right? It takes that one thing for other people to get attracted to it. So I'm from Key West is what brought everybody to my other stuff. And then they start listening to my other music and all the other songs start getting streams and everything starts going up and up and up. And now I'm very fortunate to be in a nice spot where we do well on our streams and, not great, not millions and millions, but for me, reminding myself where I came from 2 years ago when I was getting 10 to 15 streams a month, I'm in an amazing spot and I'm allowed to do so much more things with these concerts and with the events we do. But getting off topic, yeah. So I think I'm from Key West was definitely the turning point for us when we really, started to gain steam. And we didn't do a show until a year and a half after I'm from Key West came out. And I had this idea that I wanted to do a big production, lights, sound, everything. I want people to come and really feel the concert. And that's what we did. But I'm from Key West is definitely what put us over the hill and really allowed me to get rid of my 9 to 5 and really start doing this thing.
Hey, I love that song. I can't hear it enough. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like that song has been playing in my head for 57 years, right?
Yeah,
Since
yeah.
I was born. And I think a lot of conks especially feel that way. That's our theme song that's been playing in our head since we were little kids and we just didn't have anything. And so you came along and put words to it. Like you said, you are a great writer and it defines us as conks. And everybody, that's what makes Key West special, right? Is everybody wants to be from Key West, right? Whether you from North Dakota, South Dakota, whatever, everybody loves Key West. And that song, those lyrics really hit home. So yeah, you nailed it. It's the anthem.
And, shout out to D. Lou, man, because without his part on there, the song doesn't, it's not the same song. I really hit the fun, Key West, vibrant, the streets, the energy, the food, the people. Then D. Lou touches on some stuff in Key West. The rent ain't cheap. We got to do 2-3 jobs. You're working to try to make it, but it's you enjoy it here. You love it here so much. So shout out to Lou for always holding it down. Lou is one of those people that I really appreciate. More than I could put into words because Lou gave me the confidence to really do that first show. Lou's like, yeah, you could do it. Hell yeah, man. Come on. You got this. Right. So everybody I think needs somebody when you're doing something and shout out to D. Lou, man. He's really had my back from day one and continues to have my back. I go to him with some crazy stuff. I'm like, yo, I got an idea that we should do this or that, or, hey, we're opening for a country star. Let's go do this and that. And Lou never, ever hesitates. He's always just like, all right, let's go.
Hey, I love that. And I have him on my list right here because you have done a lot of collaborations and I want to talk about that a little bit. But he's my favorite. Whenever you're working with D. Lou, 2005 state champ, Key West boy. I was gonna ask you, how did you two connect?
So, Lou was living in Tampa at the time. Well, in 2020, Lou was living in Tampa and he had this business and everything shut down. So after 2020, Lou came back to Key West and Tyler Cotter actually, I was at this party and Tyler's like, hey, and I knew Lou back in high school, just like passing in the hallways, being at the same party, on the baseball field and stuff like that. And I listened to a lot of D. Lou's freestyles in high school because Lou was freestyling in high school a little bit. So I was listening to his stuff on YouTube and whatnot. Tyler Carter is like, hey, Lou, I seen him at the gym. He wants to reach out about recording a couple songs because I got my microphone and everything at the crib. At that point, though, I was recording out the bathroom. I had the microphone set up in the bathroom. The best acoustics were in there. So I'm on the MacBook in there. We got everything set up in there. And Lou's like, Tyler Carter hit me up. And I've been listening to Lou now for 10 years. And I'm like, please. I texted him that day. I said, Lou, whatever you got to record, come to the crib. We'll record it right now, no charge. And Lou's like, no, I got to pay you something. I'm like, you know what you can pay me in? You can pay me in a verse. I don't know when I want it. I don't know what it's going to be on. I don't know the type of song it's going to be on, but you can pay me in a verse. That's what I want this payment to be. I'll record however many songs you want. I just want I want one verse from D Lou and I'll be happy. Right. That's the biggest form of payment that I can receive. So, this was in January. And then I'm from Key West came up and I'm hearing this instrumental. And the first time through, I'm singing, I'm from Key West. I'm like, oh, I got it. And as soon as I finished the idea of the song, sent it to Lou. I'm like, this is what I want you on. This is what I need you on. This is the song that I've been waiting for to not only make for my city, but to make for myself, to really see where we can go with it. And you're the guy I want on it because you're the only other person that is going to represent the city like I know we can. Because in all his music, he was already repping Key West and I was repping Key West. So it was a match made in heaven. It was supposed to be. Patience pays. When I tell people all the time, don't rush. Be patient. Let things take the course, right? Do your work, stay to the plan, but don't try to rush anything. And if it doesn't work out right away, it's okay. Be patient. We made that song and we've been off to the races ever since. Now we got probably 10 to 12 songs. We can do full shows, just me and Lou. But that's how that's how we met. And I tell you what, it's been ride or die ever since, man. If he needs something, I'm there. If I need something, he's there. No matter what it is, we just started up our own entertainment company. So now we're throwing our own parties and doing that stuff. We plan on opening a bar here in Key West, hopefully called Stack and Lose in the next, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So, we got a lot of ideas, and it all started with a January meetup in the bathroom studio for him to record some tracks and to say, hey, I need a verse when I'm ready. So shout out to Lou, man. That's my dog, and I'm very, very, very appreciative of everything he's done for me in this journey.
Hey, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. I literally got chills and tears in my eyes. Um, Talk about some of the other collaborations because you talked about country music. You've done some other things too. So talk about some of the collaborations and the courage to do collaborations, right? And to mix it up with genres and whatnot.
I think my biggest thing is I don't ever want to be in one lane. And some people are like, you got to stay in one lane. Nobody can get attracted to you if you're all over the place. And I'm like, well, watch me. Let me try it. And now, I got these songs that are hip hop and I Want My Beer. I got Hometown that are country. I got a song called I'm on an Island that's reggae. I got my
My
dog.
favorite one.
Let's
That's my
go.
favorite,
Let's
by the
go.
way.
Let's go. I got my dog Mose out in California making these house music songs with my lyrics. Like, we are not going to stay in one lane. The more opportunities I give myself, the more opportunities I have to maybe, be seen. I made I Want My Beer, and Billy Currington, super mega country star Billy Currington heard that song. And that's the reason I opened up for him in Key West when he came to Key West, is because I made a song that was country-ish. And I still do a little rapping on it. I'm not this country singer, right? But the thing is, you know, by stepping outside the lane and not just keeping myself in this one area, more doors have opened than anything. So that's one thing I also suggest. Don't listen to people that don't know. If somebody actually has a good idea of what you're trying to do and they've been around the business, listen to them. But when people were telling me to stay in my lane and to focus on one genre, I was like, nah, I'm good. Watch me. And we've got more from going outside the lanes than we have from staying in the lanes. So yeah, and we got some great collaborations. We've made songs with Josh Kaiser, Sharice, who's like the most talented ever female singer. She actually just got signed and she's got a debut EP coming out. We got a song that's about to drop that's very country, hip hop. But yeah, I think the biggest thing is do what you want to do, enjoy it, have fun with it. Don't ever listen to anybody that isn't worth listening to. Now, if they got some good advice and it's good advice because you can feel it. You can feel good advice, you can feel bad advice. Listen to it. But if it's just some advice that you don't feel, just keep it moving, do what you got to do, have fun, enjoy it, and watch what happens.
Talk about being seen. You've now performed on pretty much every stage in Key West, from the rooftop at Sloppy Joe's to the amphitheater, everything in between. Talk about some of those moments, and do you ever just pinch yourself?
Yeah. Yeah, all the time. We started at the Perry on the Perry Hotel out there in Stock Island, and we did our own show, brought in the speakers, brought in the lights. And then from the Perry, we did a couple shows out there, and then we moved to the Sunset Pier and kind of a bigger stage. Shout out to Roger at the Sunset Pier. And then from there, we were at the Cas Marina when they got finished with their backyard construction, and then all of a sudden after that, and we actually, when we did the Garrett Hughes benefit concert, I reached out to Kelly Norman. Shout out to Kelly. And everybody at Ram's Head was so open. Whatever you need, let us know. They donated the amphitheater to us, which is a crazy price to get the amphitheater because of everything that goes into it and making it run. Shout out to DJ Sonaris. We were on top of Sloppy Joe's at New Year's Eve a couple of years ago. Shout out to Nadine with We've Got the Keys and the Songwriters Festival, because Songwriters Festival has had us the last 3 years. And this past year, they let us perform on the Duval Street stage, which was out of this world, just performing on this stage in front of all these people on Duval Street. I was so fortunate. And, I love the big stages, but I love the small stages. I love the medium stages. Any stage, anytime I can be on stage to just show people that we got something different, we are special. It's a good time. But yeah, I'm the most blessed person in Key West. I am so fortunate. I'm so grateful, and I'm so appreciative because I've been given more opportunities than I can count. And, I'll tell you one thing. People give me the opportunities, but when they give it to me, I always come through. And I think that's the biggest thing is when you do get these opportunities, you got to act. You got to make sure you are ready for the moment. And when you get the moment, you got to shine and you got to do what you do, because that's how you're going to get more opportunities. If I would have been really poor after my first opportunity, people would have been like, nah, we're good. If the first show we did was just very basic, how do you know if these people keep coming back? We got to give them something to come back for.
I love that. Like thinking without limits and being ready for that inspiration. When the inspiration is going to come, you got to be ready to receive it. No doubts, no limits. And you talk about people wanting to get in your ear and tell you how to do things. You'll have that feeling if they trying to lift you up and help you fly, or they trying to hold you back and plant that seed of doubt. There's no room. There's no room for that, right?
No, and you'll know, I had people come up to me that wanted to produce our first show, my first show. And what they were telling me sounded great, but it didn't really make sense. And my gut was telling me, no, don't do this. You can do it yourself. You can do it better. You can do it bigger. If you take this opportunity, in my head, I'm like, it might diminish everything I've been working towards. It might not work like I want it to work. So that's why I always say, man, trust your gut. It's really never wrong. If you think in your head that it's not a good deal, if you think in your head that you're not supposed to be doing that, you're probably not supposed to be doing that. It's probably not a good deal. So trust your gut. And like I said, good advice. You tend to know when you're getting good advice. You tend to know when you're getting bad advice, when the person giving it to you might be in it for different reasons. So just that gut.
I got to go back to you and D. Lou again because and talking about you being a good guy. I've had the opportunity to witness the joy that you bring to Key West, your audience, to kids. I've been at a school campus when you and D. Lou walk into an auditorium or a gym, and the pure joy that the fans feel when they see you two walk in is incredible. And most especially is witnessing the way that the two of you receive it, right? It seems to me from my perspective watching you is that it fills you up.
It's
And it
the
just that's what it's like this out of body thing that's happening.
it's crazy, Joy. It's nuts. And I remember the one you were at. It was HOB. We walked in the gymnasium. And it's the best feeling in the world when you walk somewhere and you're greeted with that energy, because all we try to do is give that same energy back. Whenever we're on stage, whenever we see people in public, whenever we're anywhere, we just try to give the best energy we can. And when we get all that back and we got 800 kids, 600 kids, young adults screaming, going crazy when we walk in, it is unlike anything else. I get goosebumps. My adrenaline's at like 4,000. My heart's pumping. I'm ready to run through a brick wall. These, and the first time I ever experienced that was at the high school. And in that kind of forum, I walk into a pep rally, me and Lou, and the place just erupts. I walk into there, my ears were ringing for like an hour after the fact, but I was like pumped up. I was like, I could run right now. I could lift weights. So I'm like, put me in the weight room. I don't even go to the weight room. And I was ready to lift weights, man. So it's the best feeling in the world. And, I am very aware that without the kids, having our back with I'm from Key West, especially, they made their parents listen to it 10 times in a row on the way to school. Like they still do. So I'm very aware that without the kids, without the young adults, without them pushing this music, we might not be in this situation at all. So shout out to the young ones, shout out to the teenagers, shout out to the young adults, shout out to the old adults, shout out to everybody, man. We really, really do appreciate y'all. But yeah, the kids are a different energy, man. When the kids go crazy, they're grabbing, they're like, I feel like, I feel like I'm on top of the world. I feel like all my songs are debuting at #1 on the charts, and I got the highest selling album, and they make it all worth it.
Love it. And along those lines, I'll ask you this. How do you measure success?
I think if you're enjoying it and if you're in a spot that you can really look at yourself and say, I'm doing everything I can towards what I'm trying to do, I'm giving it 100%, and I'm seeing results, whether those results are little results or those results are big results, that's a success. It's when you stop and you give up and you no longer try to attempt what you want to do because you think you can't do it. If I would have gave up, I've been doing this. I've been making music since I was 20 years old. I've been making music for 15 years. I got a microphone 10 years ago and I started making music, a little bit more clear than off the MacBook because in the beginning it sounded very terrible. But 10 years ago. So if I would have stopped 2 years after I got my mic because those 10 streams, those 15 streams a month, not a week, not a day, a month. That means my song was getting played 10 to 15 times a month. If I would have stopped then, would have never been here, would have never got here. But I was happy that I had 10 to 15 people listening. And so I think success is what you measure it. You're the only person that can measure your own success. If you start trying to have other people measure it, you're gonna stop doing what you're doing because guess what? There's hundreds and thousands of people that are doing much better than I am in terms of their success and where they're at. But I don't judge my success on their success. They had a different route. I have a different route. This is my route. And right now I'm having fun doing it. I'm seeing results. I'm taking it day by day. If it's small results, if it's big results, at the end of the day, it's results. And I feel like a success. I'm successful. I'm putting food on the table. I am living. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm happy. That is success.
I love that. That's gonna be a clip right there.
Let's go. I love it.
That's a
I love
that's
it.
that's a that's a mic drop.
Let's go. Hey,
Pun
no pun
intended.
intended. Yeah, pun intended.
Pun intended.
Let's go.
And I can't help but think about your mama and daddy because I know you give them plenty love. And hearing you talk, and like I said, being able to witness your performance and the way that you bring and receive joy, I can't help but think about your parents. Tell me a little bit about your mom and dad. I know Papa Stack, he's got his own thing going on,
Yeah, man. That's the
but
man.
they
So
gotta be proud.
I'm very lucky, man. My parents are the type of parents that have always had my back. A lot of parents, when their kids said, "Hey, I want to be a rapper," would have been like, "Come on, come on, what are you doing? Let's get back to your 9 to 5." I tell you what, my parents never, never, ever were like, "Don't do that." They were always like, "All right, make it work. You can do it. I believe in you." My mom, maybe a couple of times, she was like, I tell you what, Papa Stack's always been, and my mom has had my back from day one. So shout out to Roma. But Papa Stack, man, that man, me and him were hitting freestyles in the car when I was 8, 9 years old, right? He's singing and having a good time. So, Papa Stack's been my biggest supporter and he's always had my back. And, in the beginning when we were started, I was working a 9 to 5. I was very much living paycheck to paycheck. It was tough down here. And if I needed something, I could go to Papa Stack and he would fund it for me while we made it and we got the money back. Right. So Papa Stack has believed in me more than anybody in the world. And I am so fortunate to have them too as parents because like I said, a lot of parents would have been like, let's get real. My parents never said, let's get real. They just said, how can you make it happen? And do what you do and do what you got to do to make it happen. And as long as you work hard, we got your back. Now, if I wasn't working, if I was just sitting around, they might have been feeling a little differently, but they seen what I was doing. And to be honest, Papa Stack enjoys the spotlight more than me. He, you see, when he starts getting those Papa Stacks out in public, that man starts walking different. He starts talking different. He got a little bit of strut in his step, and it's happening a lot more, lately, especially after his Christmas song last year and all his food reviews. So Papa Stack's acting different, man. If you see Papa Stack in public and you give him a hey Papa Stack, just watch how that back gets straight and watch how them shoulders start swaying. But yeah, I got the best parents in the world, man. Shout out to my mom and shout out to my dad. Without them, I'm not where I'm at. So they put up with a lot in order to get me here, and just to stick through it all. And I say they put up with a lot because when you're an entertainer, usually in high school, you probably have some phone calls home. I probably like to entertain a little too much in class. So I know in middle school and high school, I was causing them some, hair pulling with all the extracurricular entertainment I was doing in class, but we all made it through. We here now, man, and shout out to them. So I got nothing but love for them, and shout out to my brother too, man. Robert has supported me a lot, and shout out to Romana. Romana has been my rock for the last 2 years, probably the most important 2 years of this career. Romana has been there, and before Romana, I had a lot of fun in terms of like I just was not doing what I was supposed to do. I wasn't taking it seriously. I was just happy that we had a song and Romana really made me see it from a business side. And she had me, really start taking it serious. And I can't say I'd be where I'm at without Romana. She really made me lock in and really treat it as a business and to also have fun with it. I have a lot of fun. We all know I have a lot of fun. But she made me see the business side of it and she made me understand like you can do this, you can have fun, but let's get serious, you are now a representation of your city, your community. And I knew that, but there was times that I didn't take it as serious as I should have. And so shout out to Romana, shout out to my people that have always had my back from day one. I am so appreciative of everybody that's been there for me.
When you're not doing music, what do you enjoy around Key West?
Man, so I love my happy hours. Shout out to the boathouse. I love my boat days. I just love walking around the city sometimes, especially the downtown area. Grabbing a drink or grabbing some food and really just appreciating where I'm from. Sometimes we can take it for granted. You don't really you get so busy with the hustle and bustle you forget you live on an island. And I think it's important to take a couple days a month and just remember where you're from, take it all in, walk around some streets, look at some architecture. Hopefully you're on the boat every weekend, but if you're not, try to get on the boat a couple times and just appreciate, man, you live where people vacation. And like I said, I forget sometimes. And then I'll cross the Kalki Bridge and be like, oh man, I live on an island. Like I have to take a bridge to get here. And it's a nice reminder of just, we are so fortunate. So what I like to do is I like to hang out with my family. I love family time. I think that's the most important thing in my life is spending time with the people that you love because this is a fun trip, but it's a short trip and we got to enjoy it while we're here. And we got to enjoy the people that's around us. So family, friends, enjoy your city. We got a lot of good food down here. We got a lot of good music down here. So I just try to take it all in and try to be in the moment as much as I can. And Romana again has helped me a lot with being in the moment and enjoying everything as it comes.
Hey, you mentioned for good food. I got to tell you, you've done some really good food reviews. If the music thing doesn't work out for you, if you do a food review, I'm going to get it. You was eating some French fries the other day. I'm still looking for the damn French fry truck.
Listen. So Papa Stack started doing these food reviews, right? And I was like, man, I can't let this guy get all the shine. Like he's already trying to take all my shine. So we started doing some food reviews, and they've actually done well. We've only done a few. We don't do many, but I am going to try to do more. But man, shout out to my dog Carmona, Andrew Carmona, Fries Guys. What he does with Fries is tremendous. And right now he's at the beach most days. You can follow him,
Okay.
Fries Guys _ Key West, something like that. If you type in Fries Guys, it should pop up.
That sounds good. I just tell him Mike sent me.
That's it. Hey, you tell him that, you might get some extra toppings. So I would definitely drop that plug.
All right. I don't mind dropping a name here or there. So listen, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. You know, we already talked about the Key West anthem. I'm from Key West. I believe that song talks about Conch pride. I see you, the way you show up for your island, the way your island shows up for you. Maybe I don't have to ask this question, but just in case, maybe you left something out. What does Conch pride mean to you?
Conch pride is loving where you came from, but also loving the people that are around you where you're from. Because if you love the city, that means you love the people in the city. And without the people in the city, we don't have the city that we have, right? It's the people that have the Conch pride. It's not the city. The city ain't full of Conch pride. It's the people in the city that are full of Conch pride. So Conch pride to me is loving where you came from, repping where you came from, but always having your neighbors back, always supporting what they're trying to do, always being there for them when they need you. It's the people in the city that create the Conch pride. And, we maybe get some of that Conch pride from being from where we're from, but we're the ones that create it. So I think, Conch pride to me is loving your city, but loving your neighbors just as much and representing not only for your city, but like people do for me. They rep for me, man. And anybody that reps for me, man, they repping for a Conch, born and raised. They repping for Lou, born and raised. So, Conch pride is many things, but to me, it's repping your city and repping the people and loving the people that are in it.
That's fantastic. And the last one, the final one. What brings you joy, Mike Stack?
What brings me joy is people like you, Joy. It's people that appreciate what they have and they just try to do the right thing. And they try to, whatever their gift is, whatever they can do, they're putting positive into the world. I can't stand a negative person. I don't have time for a negative person. So what brings me joy is to see people doing what they want to do and using whatever platform they have to do good, whether it's just helping somebody that needs some food or being like you, putting on a podcast that people can watch and listen to and bring a smile to their faces, whatever that is, people being happy and people doing what they want to do really is what brings me joy. And a lot of things bring me joy, but definitely just seeing people happy and people helping. And man, we are all in this together. And so we got to have, and I go to that a lot, but we're all in this together and we got to have each other's backs.
I love it. Thank you for having my back and being
All
on this
day.
show.
Listen, number one podcast in the Florida Keys, soon to be number one podcast in the nation. And then we're taking over the world, Joy. Just get ready for it, because when you are taking over the world, I'm coming knocking and being like, yo, what's up? Let me get on again. I'm trying to get some more followers. So it's just a matter of time, Joy. I love what you're doing and I respect you so much. And I think you've already seen growth from where you started to where you're at now. I see you all over my feed with people sharing what you're doing, and you're spreading such a good message. Joy, I'm so proud of you as a person, and I'm so appreciative to call you a friend. And what people don't know is Joy actually married Romana and I. So she brought a whole bunch of joy into our life, not only with what she does, but what she did for us. So, Joy, I'm just so thankful that you're in my life, and I'm so appreciative. And I cannot wait to see where you take this thing, because I know it's only up from here. You've been moving up and you're doing it. You're grinding. And I'm excited to see where this goes.
Thank you, my friend. Much love and continued success. Go Conchs.
Go Conchs, baby. Let's go, man.
This episode is sponsored by Ramona's, promoting Conch pride since 1971. I'm Joy Newlish, and I appreciate you tuning into my podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, drop a review, share, and subscribe, because there's a lot of good stuff on tap. You can find more joyful content on YouTube, the socials, or check my website at joynewlish.com. Now go surround yourself with the things that bring joy to your world. Until next time, much love.